Hey everyone, welcome back. It's been a long time. First video of 2021. I am so sorry. I'll explain at the end. So, in this video, I am just going over the expansions to Scythe, what I think you should get, what I don't think you should get, and just this is kind of like a high-level overview because I think Scythe is mostly complete at this point. So we can safely go through all the things and really give good feedback, I think, of what works and what doesn't. So, first of all, I did not get the rule book. I did not get the upgraded terrain, and I did not get the metal mechs. Those things I didn't think were required. Now, I buy everything, guys. So I'm saying you can just pass on those, really. The rule book, it can be handy. I was going to say I keep my Omega Edition Cthulhu rulebook handy, except I pulled it out and it's not here because I use it so much. So the Scythe rulebook actually could be useful. It could. But the metal minis, that's totally, if you're in the painting, maybe. I would not get the metal minis if you're not going to paint them, because then you have to use like colored tabs to like see which ones are which, or you have to memorize. It just doesn't work. Just don't get the metal ones unless you're going to paint them. That's just me. That's my opinion. The upgraded realistic resources, I would actually get it as an impulse buy. You don't need it, but does it help? Sure it does. And if it's available, when I buy something, I almost always buy the upgraded 3D terrain kind of stuff. I might just 3D print it on my own printer though. If you do 3D print those things, then definitely use different colors of ABS or PLA or whatever you use. So, okay. So, let's get into it. The legendary box. Right? So, the legendary box, I bought it. It is literally this box plus 4 empty boxes inside the box. 3 empty boxes? We'll see. Those empty boxes are not even thick cardboard. They are thin cardboard. And it is the most disappointing box upgrade that I've ever bought. It is also one of the most beautiful box upgrades. And the cost of shipping a big, giant, heavy, empty box like this is higher than you'd think. So is it worth it? It's worth it. Should you buy it? I did. I knew what it was. I wasn't tricked. I knew it was a big empty box. I knew it was a little pricey. I bought it because I have too many games and I really need to consolidate things, and I love how beautiful it is, right? It is a beautiful box. I mean, it's an expensive box, but it is beautiful. I would recommend passing unless you need to salvage space. Totally optional. Not one of my best Scythe purchases for sure, but definitely pretty. All right, so I'm just gonna kind of like take things out, and I will go over them as I pull them out. So one of my favorite expansions is probably different maybe than serious hardcore people, because serious hardcore people want to win tournaments, and I want to play well no matter how unbalanced the game is. I enjoy experimenting. I don't mind losing. I will usually take a fun win or a fun chance to win over the numeric best way to win. It's just how I am. I like to play my own game inside of the game. So when I look at expansions, I look for what changes the game the most. I don't really want more of the same. And so that's going to be how I grade things, which you should know because I do all kinds of videos on all kinds of expansions to games that are perfectly balanced by themselves, that often then are less balanced after you add the expansions. And I'm okay with that, because if it changes up the game, I think it's more fun. So, Invaders from Afar. That is a great expansion. So, this is also a perfectly packed legendary box. I have all the expansions in this thing. So, yeah, it's kind of almost a review of the legendary box, which I said probably isn't worth it. And also, I love it. And it's magical. So, I mean, I'm a little bipolar on this thing. So, Invaders from Afar, you had 2 new factions. The 2 new factions fill in the missing spaces of the board. Not missing, but I mean spaces of the board that weren't being used. And they're very different and interesting compared to the normal factions. And so that's why it's my favorite expansion. It's just, I like asymmetry in games, and those factions are fully asymmetric, which I love. All right. So the Scythe board, obviously, I mean, you have to have Scythe. I'm not talking about Scythe. But if you've noticed, one side of the board is bigger than the other, right? Well, they sell the missing pieces, because once you make the map bigger, it won't fit on this board anymore. So this is the bigger board. It's so big, guys. Sorry. So do you buy the extra board? I did, because I play on a 5-foot times 8-foot table, and so I can leverage a very big board, which it is. I mean, that's a pretty big board to play on. That's all it is, guys. It doesn't do anything else. It's just a bigger board. It is, unfortunately, I mean, maybe right there, this whole room is nothing but games, guys. I didn't look too hard for it. I'm sorry. But I think if your table's big enough, you should get the expansion to play with the bigger board. It's kind of cool. It's just a cool thing. Again, it doesn't change up the game. I don't think it's a requirement. It's a strong maybe, depending on where you game and whether or not you even appreciate that bigger board, because now suddenly everyone's reaching further. That's a negative sometimes, to be honest. So, the modular map. If you play so much Scythe that you're bored of the original game as it was meant to be played, get the modular map. Otherwise, I don't like it, guys. I'm not a fan of the modular map. It doesn't feel right. Each of the factions are meant to start in a very particular space, and when you have them randomly dealt out to where they start, it no longer feels natural and it feels wrong. It just doesn't seem right, guys. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. I highly recommend just play with the base game. I was not a fan of the modular board. Everything was weird and wonky. So, Invaders from Afar. It's magical, right? This is really cool how it all fits in here. So, Invaders from Afar, 2 factions, green and purple. They're very cool. They look interesting. The Tokugawa clan looks vaguely anime-esque, like Macross or something. I like it. I think it's really cool. I'm a huge fan. All right, we'll just take the base minis out. Also, if you don't know how to pack this box, you may be able to use this video. I don't know. The Fenris expansion. I recommend it, guys. It is so many modular pieces, and it's a legacy style game that you can redo over and over again. So if you don't like ripping up things like a lot of legacy games, this is a campaign game more than it is a legacy game, though in my opinion, a big important part of legacy games is the secrecy. So I'm not going to open this up. I'm not going to talk about the insides. I'm just going to say that there's a lot of additional things that make the game different going forward once you've played with it. I recommend it. I think it's cool. All right. These are the boxes that come with the game, with the box. I'm sorry, with the box. It's just, I mean, they are pretty, but it's an empty, not even thick cardboard box. I mean, it basically wouldn't fit with anything bigger. I mean, you see everything barely fit as is. But, you know, all right. So the airship expansion. You need the airships, guys. You need the airships. Is it cool to have a bunch of these airships over the map? Yes. Is the new resource movement or passive ability that's different? Like there's like 8 different passives, I think. And so it's going to be different most games. Is it cool? Yes. Is it worth it? Absolutely, of course. The combat abilities, they're cool. It is good. It's like, it is a good upgrade. It has a bonus thing, which is the, this card. You deal one out and it changes the winning condition of the game. So for example, this one's Factory Explosion. The first player to have 5 or 6 stars on the triumph track during their turn will gain $5 and complete their turn. Continue playing until each player has taken 2 more turns, right? So that's already different. All right. At the end of the final turn, the factory explodes, forcing all units except airships on the factory and on each of the 6 adjacent territories to retreat to their home bases. In memoriam, each player gains 1 popularity for each of their retreating units, and you cannot gain a popularity star for this. What the heck is going on, guys? What, like, that's crazy. So, number 1, the game ends sometime after, 2 turns after, somebody hits 5 stars. Number 2, they get a little bit of extra money because they triggered the end. And the factory's going to explode. So are people going to like swarm towards the factory to get the popularity star, not popularity star, but the popularity, or are they going to retreat to claim more land? That is cool. That's what it does, guys. Like it's so interesting and cool. It's definitely worth it. It's probably better than Invaders from Afar, but I still like Invaders from Afar better because I always like more asymmetric factions. And the only downside of this airship expansion is the fact that it is not asymmetric at all. There's no asymmetry at all there. Everybody has the same airship. Everybody has the same passive ability. Everybody has the same combat ability, and everybody has the same endgame condition. So it makes the game better in a fun way, a different way, gives you more options, which gives you more strategies, which means more different ways to win. All good things. But there's no asymmetry there because everybody has the exact same option. So that's my negative to the airships. It's the only reason why I like Invaders from Afar better, even though arguably the airships are just a flat out better expansion, in my opinion. All right, Scything Counters. If, like my group, everybody gets excited when they draw an encounter, then you need and want this box. Number 1, it's a cool little box. I actually like this little box for some reason. It's just small and nice. And it's hard cardboard like most quality things in Scythe. But the encounter cards for this expansion were designed or somewhat loosely designed by the players and then polished and, you know, game balanced by Stonemaier. These encounters are super interesting, and look at them. After you've bought this, look how many encounter cards that you have. There's so many, guys. I love them. I love encounters in this game. It really shifts things up in usually a fun way. It makes you make tough decisions. Some of these encounter cards do things like add a permanent new card, like basically similar to the factory card, right? Now suddenly you have a new option that you can do. Some of them, just, I don't know, they're just weird and different. Train the dog for a special mission. Spend $1 to move a token to any empty non-lake territory. That could be really cool. You get that at the right moment. It could be interesting because suddenly Tokugawa could maybe teleport somewhere that he wouldn't normally have access to, or she, whatever. I just love it. I think they are super cool. I'm a huge fan of the Scything Counters box because my group loves encounters. Like, that is one of the funnest part of the game, that in the first half of the game, you don't even necessarily care about winning or not. It is just cool. So I really like it. Big fan. All right. The wills. So I think, now I bought the Kickstarter edition, whatever, it had more things. So I had like 5 of these wills. You can buy more for the Invaders from Afar, you know, expansion. Yeah. Don't. I just don't think they're worth it, guys. I think it's totally a waste. I don't know why you would do that. You don't need it. Look, there's only 2 people in any battle at any one time, as far as I know. 2. Just 2. You don't need to have everybody have these, and they don't even really match some of the faction colors. So my group gets confused, like, who gets this one? They get confused by it because they don't 100% match. They just don't make sense to them. I don't know. Just don't do it. I mean, would I spend a couple bucks extra if it was there in the shop or something? Maybe, but I don't like it. I am not a fan at all. The metal coins, guys. These metal coins, I hope you can see them on camera. Whoa. See how heavy they are, guys? Whew. That feels nice. When people have their little hoard of, there. When they have their hoard of metal coins, real metal coins, they're interesting coins. They have the, like, they're just cool. I love the metal coins, and I think that it gets people into the game just a little bit better than cardboard coins. Now, not only is it prettier, which they absolutely are, not only do I think it psychologically get new players into the game wanting these coins. They're like, I want as many of these coins as possible because it feels like I'm getting money. Yes, it does. All those things. But it also serves an actual pragmatic purpose that I think is better than the cardboard coins. And that is that these coins, they don't go anywhere when you bump the table, all right? So if you have like kind of a loose table, my group tends to be kind of casual. And when you have cardboard coins, suddenly you're like, wait, was that my money? Is that your money? Because they, you know, they bounce or something. They slide, they blow. Not these metal coins, guys. They stay where you put them the vast majority of the time. And if something bumps the table hard enough to move these metal coins, you have bigger problems, I'm sure. So I love these coins. Now, I never really knew that these coins were kind of meant to be the same colors as the factions, maybe. I still don't even really believe that. But there are additional metal coins for the Invaders from Afar factions. And it's like purple, which is cool actually. But it's like purple and they're like 50s. Yeah, I think they're 50s, maybe 20s and 50s. I don't get it, guys. I don't need those extra coins for the extra factions. I think it's... Look, I don't mind spending money on things. I just feel like they're totally just extra for like no reason. And I didn't get them. I refuse to click buy on those because I don't think it'll do anything. It won't do anything for my group. Maybe a couple of them will get used. No. So, there's a vinyl mat. I don't take my games to go places, guys. I live in this room. Like, I barely even leave. They bring me food. I'm like a caged animal here. So, I don't need a vinyl mat like I'm going places to play this game. I need it to be more portable. And it's not even going to be that much more portable anyways. I don't know. I don't need it. Honestly, I kind of hate the vinyl mats. I have them kind of floating around here for various games, and I found that I don't know what to do with them. Like maybe get poster tubes and then have piles of poster tubes. I don't know. It just doesn't work for me. Not a fan of the vinyl mat. There are additional promo cards. Get them, I guess, or not. They're just not great. I mean, there's nothing really special about the promo cards. So when I look at them, I'm like, I'm not going out of my way. I'll wait for another Kickstarter, and then I will go ahead and click like, you know, add to the order. I'm not saying like they're bad. I'm just saying that you could probably buy basically anything else in the world, and it might be a better use of your money than those. So, yeah, that's it, guys. That is all the things. I also wrote a blog post, so if I was talking fast or I missed something, just go to the blog post. It has basically everything. So why has it been so long? Well, I mean, I did it. So this is just a blog. You guys can end it right here, guys, or you can hear about my life. It's up to you. So a couple things. I had hair transplant surgery, and that went super well. I'm 3 months in, another 9 months to get like the full hair. But so, I mean, one day I might have hair, who knows? That's kind of weird and different, but it actually did really reset me and slow me down. And then I started Bite Me. I'll put my Bite Me code down below. I really like it. I'm 3 weeks in. I don't know if like my teeth are much straighter yet or much wider, but they are straighter and they are wider. I just don't know how visible they are because I have a 15-week program. But week after week to see your teeth straighten out, and it's so easy. Like I took it out for this video and I'll just put them right back in. And that to me is a huge upgrade. I'm sure it's nothing new, but the price point was great. It was super straightforward. It was super easy. And it also threw me off a little bit though. It's just like another thing that I have to get used to, and my like jaw was kind of aching a little bit as I got used to it. Now it's pretty much fine. I've like learned how to you know, get it in the file, the sharp like edges of the plastic, just so it doesn't cut into the cheek kind of part and stuff. Learned all that, adapted. I've started going to the gym like crazy. I've lost 46 pounds, guys. I don't think you can really tell, but yeah, I mean, 46 pounds is a lot of weight to lose, but it's shifted my energy levels. I have like more energy levels, but I'm also like sore and tired. I can run laps all the way around the gym without stopping. I can do pull-ups and chin-ups, and all this stuff is super cool, and I'm like stronger and lost weight and all these things. But it's been hard juggling the things that are important in my life, like this channel, with all of these different improvements at the same time. And the yeah, I mean, politics got me down quite a bit, really quite a bit. Things in the world just make me sad, guys. And a lot of people that I really respect that are just like, no, just let the world be sad. It's okay that the world be sad. And I'm like, but I want to stand up and I want the world to be better and happier. And they're like, well, yeah, but I'm happier if you're sadder. And I'm like, don't tell me that. Like, don't tell me that. Like, So politics kind of get me down. And yeah, I was rehired back at the company that fired me. And so now either have I worked there for 4 months now, or have I worked there for coming on 14 and a half years? I don't really even know. It's super weird. And that hurt my heart a little bit, losing, I mean, I was happy, and then I never even got a break because I ended up working right back for them in various capacities until finally they were just like, you know what, can you just come back on full time? And I was like, yeah, okay. Yeah, things are weird, guys. Like my life changed and then didn't change, but then like kind of did change because I'm not a C-level executive anymore. I'm just like a worker. I just like fix things and make things work better, which is easier and less stressful and fun. But oh man, let's see. My divorce didn't go so well. So one tip there: if you negotiate and you agree on a contract, and you think your partner is like, hey, I've known this person for years and they're like my close friend, my best friend. I'm going to trust them. Make sure they didn't change out the contract that you actually sign before you sign it. Just make sure. I mean, hire a lawyer to maybe do that if you have to, but she was my friend and I didn't check it, and she changed some things, and now I'm paying for it 2 years later. So that's fun and interesting. And I'm not trying to be super dramatic, but I mean, it's a pretty expensive mistake on my part. Yeah, so that sucked. So anyway, all of those things together is why I haven't been putting out videos on a regular basis. I was also trying to get to a higher level of quality, a more complicated video, more scripted, more planned out. I want to give you guys, everything. And then I realized I'm my own editor. I don't have anybody else to edit my stuff, but I also don't have time to like work on editing for 5 hours to make a 10-minute video. I don't know, it was crazy, and I was super sad with the quality. I have good cameras, guys, but I shifted and changed too many different things, and it just fell apart. Every time I fixed one thing, the next thing kind of like got worse, and I was like, this is supposed to be better, not worse. I hope that this is good, because now I do a lot of videos for a lot of channels. Some people either trade favors to me or they pay me to do their videos. So I do this a lot. So I should be able to do this for myself and have high quality videos. So I want to give you guys the best. I hope this is maybe not the best yet, but I hope it's in a positive direction. And I think I'm trying for 2 videos a month and 2 blog posts a month. That's what I'm kind of like trying to get to. It might take me a little bit to get used to it, because I'm also, wait for it, selling my house, and I'm buying a new house, and I want the new house to be bigger, and I want the new house to have a spot that I can more permanently set up for recording, which this is not it, guys. I live in this room. I live right here. This cannot stay here all the time because I have to work right there, like 2 feet that way. This is actually a small space. It's a 12 by 15 room filled with these on every wall, all the walls filled with board games, and board games overflowing. Like it's a crazy filled in room. So I'm hoping the next house has a little bit more space and I can stretch and breathe without hitting stuff. If not, I'm still going to give you guys more videos, but it might slow down for the next month or so while I move. That's it, guys. Thanks for putting up with all my updates, and talk to you later. Bye.